Have you been looking for a creative monitor that has no compromises? What I have here is the Dell U3226Q, which is a 4K QD-OLED creative focused color accurate monitor. One of the really cool things about this guy is it actually has all of the hardware on it to calibrate itself. Inside the box, we have another box. This is going to be your screen hood, which is useful to block out other light sources that might interfere with how your display looks. In case you don't want to be using this all of the time, this one is actually magnetic, so it makes it easy to install and remove quickly. We've also got a microfiber cloth, which is super handy because, yes, the coating on OLEDs has gotten a little bit stronger, but it's still really easy to scratch if you're not using the appropriate type of cloth. We also have some documentation, oh, and a sticker. This way you can see exactly how bad your energy rating is. All of the good monitors have bad energy ratings though. As for cables, you get a DisplayPort cable, an HDMI cable, C13 power cable, and a couple of USBs, a USB A to C and a USB C to C. The C to C cable has the Thunderbolt 4 symbol on there. It is 1 wingspan, which is 2 meters. Power cable is a little bit shorter. It should be 1.8 meters. HDMI is also 1.8 meters, as well as DisplayPort. The A to C cable is just 1 meter, and that's probably because this is going to go to some sort of peripheral on your desk. We've got the base, which is nice and sturdy, and finally, we have the rest of the mount itself. It's always nice when they have a single toolless screw at the bottom here. It makes putting this together nice and easy. Attaching it to the monitor is super easy as well. You just angle it in and it snaps into place. Now we can pull the whole thing up. The stand does support swivel and vertical adjustment, and you can even pivot it to be a vertical monitor if you wanted to as well. Why you would want to with something this nice and this expensive, I'm not really sure, but it's available. On the back of the monitor, we have our power plug as well as 2 HDMI 2.1s, a DisplayPort 1.4, 2 Thunderbolt connectors where one is going to be able to give you power delivery and the other's for daisy chaining, a USB-C 10 gig, 2 USB-A 10 gig, and a 2.5 gig network jack. The power delivery on this USB-C that's meant to go to your laptop is actually really nice and strong. It gives you up to 140 watts with USB PD, which means that you can be using this with some more kind of production level laptops that will have a GPU in there. The daisy chaining Thunderbolt port does still give you some power delivery, but it's only 15 watts. As one of its party tricks though, we have 2 more USB-C 10 gig ports and a USB-A 10 gig port that's accessible right at the front of the monitor through this little pop-out. For controls on the back, you have a simple power button and a nice little nipple knob to go through the OSD. If you've been looking closely, you may have noticed this other cutout right here. This is gonna be where the colorimeter lives. But to check that out, we're gonna have to fire it up. Just like I'm fired up about our sponsor.
Between meetings, writing scripts, reviewing scripts, shooting videos, you can imagine a lot of information gets lost in the hustle. Which is why Plaude AI is here to remind you that some things are easier said than typed. Their NotePin S is a lightweight, wearable, hands-free AI memory companion designed for recording things throughout the day. No more forgetting something important because, ooh, a squirrel. It's able to record and transcribe in 112 different languages, including speaker labels and notes. And it can retrieve information from previous recordings with a single prompt. Anything recorded is kept secure thanks to its compliance to worldwide privacy regulations. Get 10% off your Plaud NotePin S with code ShortCircuit10 using our link below.
As the model name suggests, this is a 32-inch monitor, and it is a 4K QD-OLED panel. The refresh rate isn't going to be over the top because this is creative focused. You do get a reasonable 120 Hertz, which I feel is the baseline for these types of monitors at this point. when you're spending as much as you will be on a monitor like this, you really don't want to have to be dealing with 60 Hertz. Something worth noting is that other competitors in this size class do have higher resolutions at this point. You'll see some 5K, 6K, even 8K monitors at 32 inches now. 4K is generally enough resolution to get you to some of those fine details, but there are other options with higher pixels per inch. Still, even at 4K, this gives you a very respectable 140 pixels per inch. We weren't 100% sure if it would pass through USB audio because there's no 3.5mm jack on this. We hooked up a USB-C cable to the back of the monitor and then a USB-C pair of earpods, and it does. Another option for audio is Dell has put these mounts underneath so that you can buy a soundbar from them and have it nice and cleanly integrate into the monitor. But realistically, you can bring whatever audio solution you want. One of the killer features that we talked about earlier, though, was the built-in colorimeter. If we go into the OSD here and pop into the settings, there is a calibration option right in the middle there where we can click on a calibrate now. Because the monitor hasn't been on for too long, it's going to go through a warm-up process that just makes sure that the panel is saturated with the same amount of heat across, because the panel will actually react slightly differently depending on the temperature that it is.
So much. It's going to be so underwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa!
Yo, that is so sick.
Inside that calibration menu, you can set user calibration targets for whatever you want it to end up being. You can see that we've got an adjustable gamma point as well as an adjustable white point, and you can pick from different color gamuts to try and hit those color spaces. Your luminance level is going to be targeting a specific brightness level in SDR, and then there's an option for 3D LUTs. We have a few more calibration settings here where you can choose between an express calibration or comprehensive, and there is the calibration warm-up time that we saw earlier. Oh, we can see what the last calibration results are. After calibration, we saw sRGB coverage at 98.9% and display P3 at 98.4%, with the values tracking very close to the targets. This is reinforced by the fact that we saw a Delta E2000 average of 0.85, which is extremely good, and a max of 2.92. To give you some perspective, having an average of less than 2 in Delta E2000 is kind of what you want for color work, but this is way less than that. Moving over to HDR, we were able to hit 79% of the BT 2020 color space, which is still really good. In terms of color accuracy in HDR, we hit a Delta E ITP of 5.21, which also is very good. We were talking about Delta E 2000s of being less than 2 is kind of what you want. Delta E ITP is a completely different scale, so it doesn't really match up, but a good score in Delta E ITP would be like around the 10 range. So being at a score of 5.21 is incredibly good. It's getting close to what you'd expect for mastering, which is 4 and below. As for brightness, we were hitting 300 nits in SDR, and in HDR we were getting over 1,000 nits, which is really bright. We know a monitor like this is really meant for color accurate work, but we still love games. Jumping into Cyberpunk, you can see right away is that this game just is great for HDR. You can have all of the different contrasting pieces of Night City here, the bright lights, and then the dark hues of kind of the underground here. It's a great game to show off a monitor's capabilities like this. Jumping to a slightly different part of the game, this is exactly what I was talking about, where you can see all of the really bright neon lights there in the scene. You can't get it to pop like that without a monitor being able to handle those high luminance values. Now, how much is this going to cost you? It is a lot of monitor, and well, it comes with a big price tag. The cost from Dell is $2,600 on this. It's a lot more than what you're going to be paying for your typical gaming monitor, but this isn't for gaming. This is for professional work. And when you compare it to a bunch of other professional level monitors, it's not that far out. And for something like this that has the colorimeter built into the monitor, and something we missed earlier is you can actually schedule this to do a display calibration every single day so you know it's ready to go when you sit down at your desk. That brings a lot of value to a professional. So yes, while it is expensive, it may be worth it for professionals. Thank you for watching Short Circuit. If you do enjoy seeing color-accurate professional displays like this, how about you take a look at our coverage on the Apple displays that got released earlier this year? Or subscribe and stay tuned because we've got a ProArt monitor that's going through the lab's testing right now.